Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're D&D Boyband, slightly reduced and slightly going through it a bit in life at the moment. I'll possibly explain why in a second. But a group of friends that all like to still get together and play D&D Pretty Boys because apparently it's not fantasy unless everybody's hot. This is an original D&D campaign set in the critical role world of Exandria, taking place approximately 11, 12 years now after the events of CR1. The group have been playing for a little while now. It's coming up for two and a bit years, maybe slightly longer. Is it 3 years? It is coming up for 3 years. That's slightly terrifying.
Oh, bloody.
Passage of time distresses me.
And the group started somewhere around Craghammer, made it all the way down to the Silvercock Crossroads, made it deep in Oemon, to various Mindflayer colonies, have made it across to the Medallion Empire and the Kryn Dynasty, and have now finally made it back to their original destination in Mon, where they are now burning down a theatre. I'm Dungeon Master Jamie, and joining me tonight are the Spice Boys. First of all, let me introduce Clood as Barnes.
Hello.
We are missing Eski as Zug, who is moving. Sai as Aku, who is okay, we promise. Luke as Ascor is not here. He is on holiday, so I hope you're having fun, Luke. Erin is Hayden.
Hey guys.
And once again, Hannah joining us. Lady Cakes as Casadius.
Hey.
Hello. So, as I mentioned, like, life is getting in the way. I am getting married in 3 days, which has caused stress to some people here who are groomswomen and best people. And so I appreciate that it's causing stress as well as work and a bunch of things. So because of that, we are down 2 people, as well as people kind of just wanting to chill out, play some D&D with friends, but not necessarily be on camera, which is completely understandable. Before we begin, do we have any announcements, Erin? Nope, we do not. Cool. To get you up to speed on last week, after weeks
No, we do.
Oh,
guys.
we do. Oh, sorry, we will
do.
not be here for the next 2 weeks. Is that the announcement?
No.
Okay,
It's that Erin got a kitten today.
Oh yes, sorry. Two announcements.
Important news, Jamie.
The important news is that Erin got a kitten, which will definitely be appearing in the back of the webcam at some point. I hope.
No, she's still hiding under the sofa, so I don't know if she's gonna come out tonight.
But in a few weeks' time, she's gonna be climbing all over you.
That's
That is
true.
true.
All the
You have a
time.
familiar. You should get a familiar in game and then just have her as the avatar for it.
She's it. So rough plan today is sorry. On top of that, as well as Erin's cute cat, I will obviously, as I said, be getting married on Friday, which means our honeymoon will begin. And unfortunately, I will not be playing D&D on my honeymoon. So there will be 2 weeks where we are off.
It's not very dungeon mastery behavior of you, Jamie.
It's more like dungeon amateur.
Dungeon craftsman, dungeon journeyman.
Yeah, dungeon journeyman.
And there's everything kind of going on today as well. We're going to go to 10. We appreciate we're starting late, see how people feel, and just make sure it's a point to stop. And then, unfortunately, take a little break. However, we will be back with the full cohort at the end of September. And yeah, I've talked way too much. So to get back into D&D, last session, after weeks of planning, both in and in game, you guys decided to ambush Kari at the theatre that she seemed to visit every week on Fridays. You arrived early. You made yourself known to the proprietor. You established contacts in the class who were going to take over, and you managed to find all the weapons that their group had hidden throughout the area. The Black Swan opened its doors. The Grim Troop began playing, and in walked Kari, Sylas Briarwood, hidden at the time, and Cecil Fortomp. You engaged them all, except for Sylas, who seemed amused by the affair and seemed happy to wait for a victor. During that course, it revealed that Cecil Fortomp was certainly not human. Unsure exactly what he was, but Kari was addled, scared, caught off guard, and ultimately slain by Aku as she attempted to run to make her mistake. Cecil Fortomp put up a bit of a nastier fight, seemed to be dragging you all into his own nightmarish void, fighting you one-on-one, but given that there seemed to be some method you employed to stop him doing this, at least for the first couple of rounds, most of you escaped with physical wounds, and a sense of exhaustion, but not much else. He was again slain by Aku as he had been thrown into the room with Zug and Aku at the beginning of the fight. Asgore, however, is currently lying completely unconscious on the ground. Sylas Briarwood, during the fight, gave you the ultimatum that you had one more chance to help him and stop lying. During the fight, somebody used a fireball. The entire theater is burning. Everyone evacuated pretty quickly after the fight. However, you have a dead body of Kari. You have a couple of dead members of the class scattered around whose bodies are beginning to burn and singe. There is a smell of burning flesh throughout. Sylas is standing there watching the flames and watching all of you. And there is an escape route. If you remember, one member of the class managed to escape down the tunnel. Whether or not it was stopped by the other members, you guys are unaware yet. So, I'm not saying you're in combat, but that fire, if you look at the map, is spreading, and you either need to leave, escape, get clear, either by leaving the theatre out the front door, or going down the escape route, or some other method.
Or we could put the fire out. I'm just putting that out there.
Or you could put the fire out.
Could put the fire out.
Because Cass's friend owns this establishment.
We should probably put the fire out. We told Percy to ask the gods to look the other way, right?
You did. You imagine whatever... this hasn't been long. It's been a couple of minutes. Fireball... It's a hell of a spell. I imagine that setting off a bomb in a theatre would set quite a lot of it alight. So you've probably only had 2 or 3 minutes since you began fighting in all this time. Whatever guard response is coming, you imagine it would be more delayed than it already would be. I would say most of your minds currently, if you're in the room with Kari and Cecil's body, Aku and Zug, you're probably you're not fully informed of what's happening on the other side. You're probably looking down a bit in horror at just the bare bones and this black sludge kind of retreating under the ground. Kari's corpse, of course, which Aku mutilated, and probably unsure what is going on. The rest of you have 2 concerns in front of you. The fire is a third tertiary, long gone, slightly warming at the back of some of your heads. As Sylas Briarwood stands in front of you, you wonder if you have the strength to fight him, and Asgore lies completely unconscious on the floor.
Well, I thought that actually went rather well. How are we all feeling? We good?
A little bit toasty at the moment, and Cass will just gesture the fire.
Yeah, there's that. Hello, Sylas. Hi. How are you doing? Thanks for not joining in the melee.
Hello again. I'm glad we all have a moment to talk.
Now's not really the time, to be perfectly honest. And Hayden's gonna try to...
many of the times we've talked before, this would have been Hayden.
I don't know you, so I'm just gonna just go
Hi.
over it. Hi. And Cass just finger guns at him, and then he's gonna just go around this way, and he's gonna use Mage Hand to try and pull the flaming curtains down and stop the fire from spreading if he can get them into like the middle, and just use Mage Hand to like.
Okay. If it's, I'm allowed you to do that. If I give you the wrong impression, that stage is made of wood, as are the curtains, and a fireball was used.
The curtains are made of wood?
No, sorry. The stage is made of wood, obviously made of cloth. That fire is ablaze. If you want to...
He's thinking if he can get the curtains on top of themselves, he can smother them.
Okay.
And if he, like, bats it with the Mage Hand enough times, he's hoping maybe.
I don't even know what I'd roll for this. What's Mage Hand?
He could be about to make this so much worse. I'm sorry, everyone.
Mage Hand is combustible. Well, no. So the container can lift 10 pounds. So I'll say it can exert 10 pounds of force.
He can rip down a curtain, right? It's already probably a bit flimsy from the flames.
Yes, true. So make a strength check with a with the hand, which I'm going to say has a -4.
Oh, that's mean. I'm not a
It is
strong
mean.
boy. I'm a noodle. That was a save, but I'll keep it. I don't get a bonus either way, so that's a 0.
That's a 0. Okay. So even now, kind of the metal that's keeping the curtains in places seems to just be getting very hot, but hasn't broken yet, nor of the rings. So a couple of the cloths fall, but you're having trouble detaching them and moving them using the mage hand. It seems to be more force than your mage hand is willing to kind of
While you
muster.
guys are talking to, I assume you're going to have a conversation with Mr. Briarwood. You can just hear the slight squeak of the curtains like rubbing on the rail as Cass just keeps trying to pull it. Just in the background.
I don't understand. Where are the firefighting automatons? What are they, like burning rescue or something? Where shouldn't they sort of be here by now? Is this a problem?
Yeah, we
No
don't
one
have
paid the
those.
bill.
We don't have those anymore. Oh. Is that like a bucket of sand anywhere? Don't they have sand and shit for firefighting in ye olden times? Is that a thing?
Yeah, they may well do. You haven't looked for it. You don't know which room it would be in.
Can I do like a wee perception check? And also, I suppose he would probably look at Asgore at this point and toss him a healing word, while he's kind of looking around and actually paying attention to what's going on for the first time in a few minutes.
Could you make?
I can find
Could you heal the healing for Asko? Yeah.
heal the healing? I can heal
Heal
the
the
healing.
healing. Thank you. Yeah.
I can make the healing. That is 8 healings.
Okay. As you kind of like look over and think to yourself, and you mutter the words of power, and focus in on Ascor, a tendril of black energy whips out and slaps you across the face for 8 damage. As you kind of push back, you see bleeding across Barnes's face and kind of ichor mixing in with the blood, and the tendril kind of retreats back into Ascor.
No, I feel like it's been a long time since I've been slapped by a spooky appendage. Wow. Okay, we have a fire problem and an Ascor problem. I'll deal with the fire maybe, and Aku, can you Ascor?
Fire
And,
grows ever so slightly.
Okay, right.
Hayden, I'm going to
stand.
presume you moved.
Yeah, I've been trying to say I would like to climb out of the orchestra pit.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I was planning on trying to get into the room where Aku and Zug were. But I think the fire is just grown.
I will. If you were going to do that before, I will let you quickly run in here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Like as soon as I said to Sylas, now's not really the time. I was planning on climbing out of the orchestra pit and trying to get into that room, because I know that's where Kari ran to.
Absolutely. So as you walk in, the scene you see before you is Kari's mutilated body, face barely recognizable, strands of kind of red hair and everything around, caved in chest, and just an almost picked clean bones next to it, kind of surrounded in robes you'd assume would be Cecil. And Aku and Zug standing there, I think both quite hurt, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Is that correct, Aku?
Yeah, he's not looking too great.
And one more thing to clarify, I remember you said that some of the assassins that we didn't manage to kill were
One of them
running. Was it just the one who is in this room? And
you've made one who's he's so that's representative of the fact he's gone down the tunnel. He's no longer here.
Right, okay. But Aku and Zug would have seen him enter the room, right?
And leave.
And did they get any chance to attack, or
He disengaged.
right? Okay. Yeah. Hayden will enter the room and kind of he kind of like bursts into the room quite quickly because the fire is like blazing behind him, and he's like, "Guys, we need to get out of here. There's fucking fire everywhere. I swear it wasn't me." And then he'll look down and he'll see Kari's body on the floor, and he'll be like, "Okay, we really got to get out of here now." And he'll look at Aku and Zug and be like, "Are you guys okay? What the fuck is that?" And he'll look at the skeleton of Cecil, you said it was?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? There's no time. We have to leave. Like this place is burning down.
Aku is just like, because whereabouts is Askel? Did you say? Sorry.
Askel's here, so if he's here if you can see now. You haven't really seen him.
Okay, so I haven't actually seen Askel.
No.
Probably just heard Barnes call above the slight roar of fire.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, Aku's gonna walk over to Hayden, look pretty frazzled, and point down at Kari as if to sort of signal, do you want me to grab her or do you just want to leave?
He'll kind of like look down at her body and it's like, it's weird. It's like kind of like when you see a dead body and it's like, they're not really that person anymore, but they kind of are. And he kind of freezes for a moment and then shakes it off and he'll crouch down and he'll loot the body. No, he's gonna like see if is she known to like wear like a particular necklace or like a bracelet or like hold any sort of like item from her.
Yeah, so Kari is indeed wearing an amulet which is bloodstained and a little bit dented. But as you pick it up, it's kind of a green emerald set in the middle of kind of some fairly intricate gold carving. That's, you remember, flashing in the middle of combat. She wears a variety of rings, one of which you recognize as being a very hidden symbol of the clasp. And one is warm to the touch when you hold on to it. Kind of going through her person, there are some pieces of paper. Aku, could you roll a d20 for me to see how much of the paper has survived your attack?
Oh boy. Okay, give me one moment. Realized I had stuff up, but not actually logged in. Bear with me. Just a flat d20, right?
It's a flat d20. High numbers are better.
Don't tell me that. That's a 5.
It's a 5.
no.
Splattered, shredded. Most of the documents on Kari may be decipherable in time. You would probably grab a handful of what you think are in the best condition and would need to read through them later when your time isn't quite so pressed.
Cool. Yeah, I'll grab the rings and the amulet and the papers and just quickly shove them in my bag. And then he'll look up Dak and be like, there's no point taking her body. It's fine. We've got proof. And from our preparation before we did this whole shebang, would we know if the orange exit, that's the square on the map, does that lead safely out of this building? Like, would that be an appropriate exit route?
It's one of the many entrances to all the tunnels underground that are used not only by the class, but a lot of others. The class just have claimed dominion over them, and know them probably the best, or at least the surface level ones. But yeah, you go straight into the tunnels that Hayden has a little bit of familiarity with. Ben Casadis probably has a lot more.
Cool. So my final question, just for timing and clarification. By the time I'm done looting the body in this room and checking that Zug and Ak are okay, is the exit to this room now engulfed in flames? Is our only way to get out is this trapdoor?
Yes.
Okay. Aku, can you tell Barnes that we're getting out of here? And Casadius, we can't get back through that door. We're gonna have to go out this way. And he'll gesture at the trapdoor.
Can I see Barnes, DM?
You can't. If you look through, if you stand here, you can probably just make out figures through the fire and smoke now, because obviously with this much fire, smoke is beginning to fill this building.
Look, before we try and leave, can we try at least to put some of this fire out or slow it down so there's some time before, help actually comes? Because didn't our friend say he'd hold back guards?
Barnes kind of in the corner of the theatre looking for sand buckets or something. Well, I am trying to look, but Sylas, can you stop standing there and help a man look for a bucket?
I just hovers slightly off the ground and just turns around, moves slightly away from the fire, and folds his arms. Are none of you capable of summoning water? What is this?
I could add more fire to the fire. Like I could put hellfire in the fire.
No, I don't think that's gonna work.
You want hellfire? Casadius, I can do that.
No, I'm
Wait.
good. I'm good.
I can create food and water.
You can do that, yeah?
Yeah, I'm a paladin. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that class that you play.
Okay, so after about like a good 10 minutes of just faffing and looking around, like, what do you
10 minutes,
expect me to
everyone's
do?
dead.
Aku realizes that he does in fact have a way of dealing with this, and I don't actually know if I can cast this in time.
Wait,
It's one action.
don't we have a decanter of endless water?
You also have a decanter of endless water as well.
Let's go, boys.
You see Zug just kind of eating mayonnaise in the corner out of the decanter.
Just turns around at the same time and
the
goes,
jug, like,
"Ah!"
oh, this can make water too.
So I guess he's gonna cast that, and a really pathetic amount of water is just gonna start appearing, like, from his hands. And if anyone looks at him questioningly, he's gonna be like, "Well, I've never had to try and use this before in an extreme situation."
That's okay, buddy. Why don't you put it on the floor of the stage to stop that from, keep the wood wet,
Are we yelling at each other over the fire? Just
Yeah.
like
No, I think Psychic Link. Sorry, I think there's a group chat enabled by Aku at the moment.
I mean, yeah, but it's kind of nebulous of whether we can actually communicate if I can't see people. Yeah.
You gotta hang around with you guys up enough. I'm gonna say yes.
yelling through the flaming doorway.
Okay.
Does someone want to throw me the water decanter thing? I'll mage hand it up high and just pour it out, right?
Zug, you have that. Could you just...
No, my mayonnaise. Zug will throw it through the fire. Can I have a perception check from either Cassadus or Barnes to not?
Perception.
Yeah.
Perception?
You're trying to catch a jug thrown through fire and smoke.
22.
I mean, my passive is 21, but I got a 16.
21's fine. 16. Okay. What did you get, Barnes?
22.
22. All right, both of you, you kind of like grab it, both with a handle. It's quite a big jug, and you don't know what happens if it shatters. And you kind of both grab a handle, and it takes a little bit of the force out of it. And you kind of swing a little bit, and you both stand there with this multi-exited jug. I don't know what to call it. With lots of different stoppers, and you've actually never used this for water before. So you put out a couple, get some wine, get some milk, a little bit of mayonnaise, and finally the one with water. And Cassadus can pick it up and just start using it to clean everything.
Throwing
Aku's...
it everywhere.
Did he just throw wine on the fire?
Yep.
Would you like
fix it.
throwing
I'll-
packets
I'll
of
fix it in
mayo?
a second.
wine
Give me a minute.
flammable.
Yes.
Oh shit!
Oh, what's going
Who left
on?
this mayonnaise here?
And at the same time,
Oh,
Aku,
no.
you get the hand of it, and you like 25 or whatever is remaining of the gallons of water just spurt out of Aku's hands and kind of engulf the bottom of the stage, slowly putting out, walking into the kind of orchestra pit, and now there is this steam erupting out, the smell of like the water mixing with the steam, with the smoke. It's a
With
bit
the
of
mayonnaise.
hell, the mayonnaise at the time, the wine burning off, it doesn't taste very good. And the fire massively decreases, and with the help of the incanter, slowly but surely, over I'd say the course of about 10 minutes of quite slow work to isolate bits of the fire, get enough water on it. Aku, are you using 1 or 2 casts of this spell?
I guess as many as he thinks needed.
I think reasonably 2.
Okay, then I guess we'll go. Oh, actually, let me check what level this is because
It's a third level
use
spell.
magic. Yeah, I have 1. I'm able to use 1.
That's okay. I would just say that with the incanter and that, it therefore takes longer. You guys take about
Okay.
15 minutes to put the fire out entirely.
Is this like a bagpipe looking thing, like a decanter with multiple spouts just oozing random shit out of each one?
Yeah. Oh, it's got stoppers in it, and you need to take them out.
Nice.
So Cassadus kind of delicately pouring. Cassadus is a bit frustrated that no one else other than Aku maybe gives as much of a shit as he does about the theatre burning down. But in that time, I will say you guys managed to put it out, and you're left in the smouldering, steamy semi-burnt bit. There are bodies kind of lying on the floor that are now drenched as well as burnt.
I take it
The
back.
fire is kind of mainly regulated to the beginning bit of the stage and the kind of curtains. Most of the rest of the theatre seems to have survived, but some of the walls have been a bit licked, and there's going to be a lot of smoke and steam damage.
Oh, I take it back. This didn't go well at all. It was a disaster. I think Asgore's dead, by the way, by now.
Wait, what?
Potentially. Well, I tried to fix him, and then a tentacle slapped me out of nowhere.
I'll say during this time, you guys have probably at least made your way on stage to kind of survey what's happening. And I don't know what you're doing with the bodies, but you can see Asgore lying on the floor. You can hear Barnes and see Casadia still probably attempting to maybe cast mending on.
I suppose while Aku was putting the fire out and Hayden realizes, oh, we don't need to immediately evacuate because our exit's burning down. I guess Hayden would have probably looted what's his name's body?
That's all for Tom.
Essel? Yeah, the guy that's in the room with Kari. Just to
what body and what room? It's just bones and occasional scraps of cloth.
Okay, so is there anything on there that is identifiable as who he was?
Nope.
Then I don't touch it. Okay, that's fine.
Fair enough.
I just wanted to be able to be like, proof that this man is dead. Oh, sorry. I go into the room. Oh, I don't want to go into the room. Sylas Briarwood is there. He's mad at me specifically.
Daddy's angry.
Hayden disappears out the trapdoor and leaves. Bye, guys.
Is this actually what's happening?
No.
I mean, like, so my heart of like what Hayden would actually do is probably, but
That's fine.
But
I
no,
can cope with it.
no, this
I
would be
can cope with it.
complicated for D&D. No,
Hayden,
no, he won't.
Hayden,
he
you
won't.
walk below, and you see
no,
3
stop.
dead bodies.
No, stop. I'm not doing that.
Hayden, there are 3 dead bodies
Oh
down there.
no, I have to do
Hayden
it
walks
now?
down there. There are 3 dead bodies.
Okay, who are the dead bodies?
You recognize one of them as being the assassin who ran away earlier.
Okay.
You recognize the other 2 as being the 2 members of the class who were posted there
Oh.
to guard that exit. And a little bit further along, approximately, how many feet is it? 30 feet down the tunnel, still lit, like very light level torches. The same black ichor that you saw coming from Cecil is dripping from the ceiling.
Oh,
A slime tunnel.
That's
Yeah.
Tunnel, if you will.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm gonna seal this and I'm gonna
Subtle.
immediately turn back
Subtle.
around and rejoin the group.
There you go. You're coming back. You're scared. Your exit gun.
I'm just gonna slip back in behind Zug and hope nobody noticed my cowardly exit.
So kind of looks like, oh, there you are. I didn't see you. You're always so sneaky.
Yeah.
Oh,
DM.
Yep.
Can I just ask for a description of exactly what it looked like when it was Cecil, right? That went.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he sort of died.
Yeah, so every time you were hitting him, you were fighting him, it looked like more and more of his skin was almost like a suit, that a black mass of kind of ichor and almost not entirely solid, but moved like it was, almost like slime was underneath him. And as you were kind of hitting him, the skin come off, but the kind of slime remained. And the final hit of it seemed to separate it to the point that it fell off the bones, fell to the floor, and almost seemed to sink down underneath the floor,
Oh.
through the floor.
Thank you.
No, but seriously, guys, Asgore, I tried to heal him, and then I got whacked by a tentacle. I'm not shitting you here. Does he look alive?
He looks like he's sustained some fairly mortal wounds. You see bleeding. You see the same kind of wounds that you all have inflicted via the dream or void, whatever you were in. He looks pale. He looks like he lost a lot of blood. He's breathing barely and slowly, lightly. Very shallow.
I can't get near him to heal him or anything. Yeah. Whatever that Cecil guy, the aboleth, did, it's still here. It's got him. Is Silas kind of just hanging around? Has he just been watching us put the fire out?
He's been watching bemused, fairly comfortable in control of the conversation, waiting for Hayden to come back. No, waiting for somebody to perhaps make a move to leave or do something that he doesn't approve of. But right now, he's letting you deal with your shit, but is clearly hovering perhaps a bit too close for your comfort at any point.
Casadius, can you try, I don't know, mage hand, move Ask or touch him or anything? Does it let you touch him?
Oh, I can give that a quick try. Castle click his fingers and Mage Hand comes out and just with a finger extended, it just swoops close to Ascor and just gives him a little nudge.
His clothes move, but as you kind of push him a tiny bit, whatever slight side of him you slightly reveal or nudge, there is the thick black ichor you saw from Cecil, or just and Hayden you saw dripping underneath, which if you triangulate it is currently what you reckon to be underneath where Ascor is, sticking him to the ground.
Yeah.
I think he's stuck.
What do you mean he's stuck? Mentally stuck? Did you
Cass will just try and shove his shoulder slightly to try and just get him to move a little bit.
He moves the top part of him he moves as if he's been pushed, but he snaps back as if he's been glued to the floor on one side.
I mean stuck. Stuck.
Oh shit.
Barnes, did you try and touch him, physically touch him?
Well, no, I just tried to cast some ranged healing magic on him, the stuff what I do, and something just came out of him and just whacked me I haven't tried touching him now. I wonder if
Ascor
he's
starts muttering in deep speech. Does anybody speak deep speech?
I
no.
have a feeling I don't.
Oh shit, no.
Just starts gurgling, making guttural, odd sounds. You've heard him make a couple of times before. You guys might recognize it as deep speech, but there's none of you understand it.
He's talking like Diabolet, when I spoke to the Cecil one. The same
Is
fish
that what
noises.
it sounded like?
Yeah, gargling.
Oh, nasty.
Can you I don't know, exorcise him or something, Aku? Purge the ghosties.
Aku kind of thinks, given that he is a man of God, I feel like it kind of sucks that he can't actually exercise someone, but
You can certainly try.
He can exercise him, winky face.
Stop, Zaskor, stop it.
That's gross.
Oh, I meant more in general.
He's gonna think, and he's just gonna kneel down and just try and touch Ascor on the shoulder, see what happens.
Okay. Kneeling down, touching Ascor. Could I have a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh no!
Oh,
Wait, can I bodic saving throws? Can I do that? I can.
Can I? I mean, I could also.
Because I feel like I'd be prepared for something sus happening here. So is it reasonable to be and just hang in there, Aku. Be careful. I'm here for you.
28.
That doesn't matter. You can both save your rolls. 28. You touch Ascor, and it's as if your mind is immediately taken back to that void where you've fought Cecil. Except this time, off in the distance, Aku, you see a grey figure covered in gold striding away from you. And then snaps straight back to the room.
Wait, so I touched Ascor, I saw the void with nothing else in there except for what looked like Rasha walking away from me.
Yeah.
I didn't see Ascor, I didn't...
No.
Oh, fuck. Do I like snap out of it? How long, like, am I still there?
Yeah, no, you're like to everyone else, it was instantaneous. You turned down, you touched him, your eyes went completely dark for 1 second, and you're back.
Okay. He's gonna quickly compose himself after seeing that, and I guess given that he's still touching Ascor, he's gonna attempt to lay on hands to maybe heal some of the surface wounds.
Yep.
Why are you covering your eyes like that?
You heal.
You're making me stressed.
You try to push through, push energy, positive energy in, and the wounds seal on Nascor's body. Color comes slightly back to his face, but he doesn't wake up. His breathing becomes deeper and more firm. Ascor's body is healed. He's still stuck to the floor. You can't move him, and he doesn't wake up.
Well, he's still stuck here. I mean, we can't leave him here, right?
Could we maybe like rip up some of the floorboards and just carry him out? Is that an option? I'm just...
That's a pretty good idea. Oh, how do we do that? I mean, I
You
could
want a
try
mat?
like dispelling whatever's here, but I feel like it's sort of he's just gonna run his eyes over the goo and think of tentacles. I feel like it might actually be a bit beyond me, to be perfectly honest. It's not really my forte. I could try turning him into like a snail or something so he's easy to pick up.
It'd be a smaller piece of floorboard, I guess.
Right, I'll just try that then. I'd like to cast polymorph on Ascor and turn him into a chipmunk.
You.
Chipmunk.
Yeah.
Cool. That's all wisdom saving throw, right?
I think it's touch, yeah. I'm next to Aku, right?
If he's unconscious, if he has to make the save, it automatically fails. But I'm guessing
him
it's not
making the save.
necessarily him. Making
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Could I get you to roll a wisdom saving throw as well?
That's actually
You turn into a chipmunk
that's
now.
undeservedly good. What's Aku's bonus?
+4.
25.
25. Okay. Same vision. For a second, your eyes go dark, and you again return to the void and see what you might guess to be Rasha walking away from you. That's a 17 on the saving throw.
My DC's 19, so he's now a gooey chipmunk.
It's now a gooey chipmunk. Yeah.
While Spawns has done that, Aku is gonna try and just stick his hand into the goop and like wrench the chipmunk out. What happens?
Make a strength check for me.
Oh, I haven't done one of those in a while. Just straight strength, right?
Believe in you.
That image is so funny.
Oh no!
Can I bardic inspire?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
This is a bardic
Cass is
move.
just stood next to him, like going, "Your muscles look so impressive right now. I just need you to know that whatever you're doing it right." So for me, because I am a baby bard still, that is a D6. I'm sorry.
Okay. What is that then?
16.
16. You French and you wrench, and the sinews pop, and the muscles pull, and the
Stop.
floorboards creak. And the harder you pull, the more of this chipmunk seems to be being consumed by black ichor. It begins to creep round. It's now crept up to the chest area. Half of the face is gone. It's getting pulled down, and you see underneath the floorboards have almost been entirely dissolved. And you can, if around the edges, you can see it dripping down into the tunnel beneath.
Wait, wasn't someone researching aboleths while we were in Barnes's castle?
Why the hell is... a few of us tried, I think. We didn't
Did
do
we
very
have
well.
any knowledge of what might damage? Wasn't there something about like water or?
They hang out in water. Oh shit! My sprinkle dust.
Right.
Could I do some dust of dryness on the goo, please?
Oh my god,
Uh,
so smart.
Yeah, go for it. Let me
Is
see
it
the
like
dryness.
alien? Like, you know, there's inflatable or like expanding aliens where you put water on them and they go like, but in reverse.
Right, how am I? This is smart because I don't want to give you nothing, but in theory, it does only work on water, and there's only water.
No, it's
This-
like, you know, when you sprinkle salt on a slug, that's what happens.
right, yeah, cool. That's done it.
Does void ichor consist of water? I mean, that's...
Quite possibly. Okay. You take out the dust, sprinkle it on the ichor. It seems it's initially to retreat a tiny bit. However, there's a cracking of floorboards, and Ascor, the chipmunk, falls through the floor down to the tunnel below. And you see that the ichor is kind of dripping off the sides of the floorboards, and he's now lying in a pool that's beginning to coalesce again around him. But you don't know how long you have. Everyone has one action to try to do something. Starting now. Whatever
Given
order you guys want.
that Aku was like elbows deep in the ichor, probably he's just gonna go with it, right? Like,
Yep.
he's gonna regardless, he would jump down anyway, so he's falling down. And
Kasadis
it's
will
gonna-
cast,
it's gonna
Kasadis will
grab
cast
him.
Featherfall on Aku.
Okay.
Grab
It's
the
about
chipmunk.
it's about a 15-foot fall. So as you fall down, Featherfall catches you, drifting down. You see Chipmunk Ascor beneath you. What's anybody doing to get him out of the ichor before it coalesces around him?
Oh, has anyone else got like mage hand? Could they pick him up out of it, or?
No, I'll just be on hand with a bodic. I think that's...
Wait, so what's happening? So, is the chipmunk being sucked into the ichor?
Yes. So they've like the dust of dryness has caused whatever is like holding the floorboards and Ascor all in place to dissolve and land on the floor beneath, but it's like eaten away at the floor. So this is above the tunnel. You've fallen into the tunnel below, which is where Hayden saw the dripping earlier, and all the ichor has gone splat on the floor around and is beginning to slowly coalesce again around the chipmunk. But seemingly now you see it kind of stir on one side as it can seemingly move. You don't know.
Cass uses mage hand to pick up the chipmunk because it's tiny.
How much do chipmunks weigh?
Not a lot. Not 10 pounds, man.
Yeah,
Like a
quite-
baby weight. They're like 75 grams or something. They're tiny.
Oh, they
Yeah.
oh my! Why? I'm thinking of a monkey. You say chipmunk. I think monk. Why was I thinking of like a chimpanzee?
Alvin and the chipmunks, bro.
Yeah, I'm just stupid. You are absolutely right. They weigh 44 kilograms. This tiny little chipmunk gets poofed it up out of the thing, and you just see like a couple of the black drops kind of dripping off it as you're holding this tiny little rodent a couple of feet off the air.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. I got it. I
You all
got it.
right down there,
How the
Aku?
fuck did a mage hand pull it out and Aku couldn't fucking pull it?
Right.
Like, I'm fucking balls deep in this shit, like down the fucking tunnel, and I just see someone like daintily pick up Ascor with a mage hand. What the fuck?
I can drop him in your hands if that makes you feel any better right now.
Nobody
it was
saw
the
her, Aku. Don't worry.
Out of character, it was the Dressodinus that causes it to loosen. However, Aku can feel aggrieved in character.
Yeah, you only. I can only hold him for 1 minute. So like, Cass is like, do you want to take him? He's like floating him in front of your face in the mage hand. It's kind of like offering the chipmunk to you.
I'm not like stuck or anything, am I?
Make a strength saving throw.
Oh no.
Like, I shouldn't have said anything.
Hang in there, Aku.
when
Got it. Add a D10.
when Casadius's mage hand is about to run out, Hayden will cast his own mage hand to scoop underneath and catch
Oh
the
my
chipmunk.
fucking god!
Natural one. Aku.
Sorry,
Face.
Aaron. Sorry, I
No.
didn't mean to
Face.
interrupt you.
That's fine. You guys can do rotating mage hand. Aku, face first into this ichor. And as you try to stand up, you are now craft.
Can I drop down and then dimension door him back up? Like reach out a hand. He's willing. Does that work? Or does he need to be like free of movement?
Free of movement, I think. You need to move through the door.
You can bring along one willing creature who is. You can bring along one willing creature of your size or smaller. Who is carrying gear up to its carrying capacity. The creature must be within 5 feet of you when you cast the spell.
Oh, you don't have to step through the magical door to teleport as a verbal component. Okay.
It says you teleport yourself from the
Yeah,
current
yeah.
location.
No, I will rule that dimension door works. As you fall down, you grab Aku. Where are you appearing?
Probably just back up in, by the orchestra pit, by the seats.
Okay, yep. So currently I'd say it's in Hayden's mage hand is the little Ascor chipmunk. The ichor you can still kind of bubbling and pooling now beneath the floorboards in the tunnel that you've seen before. However, Ascor for now is free, as is Aku. Hayden.
I have a really important clarification. Clood, when you polymorphed Ascor into a chipmunk, does he still have a little neck ruffle?
I actually wanted to clarify that earlier. Yes, he absolutely does. Yeah, thank you for making
good.
Yeah.
Very important.
Is he still gargling in deep speech as a
Yeah.
chipmunk? Is it like Alvin and the Chipmunks? Like,
It's like much higher pitch. No, it sounds very strange.
holy shit! What is that stuff anyway? You alright, Aku?
Aku is covered in just like the remnants of like this black gunk all over his face and his arms. He probably doesn't smell very good either. I mean, what did that smell like, Jamie?
The dampest damp that ever damped. You imagine it.
Basically,
You
fucking
imagine
like-
that if
Like
the
when you open a flooded cellar like 5 days after it flooded, and you're just like, "Ugh."
imagine if like an entire school's swim team took their like wet towels, put them in a locker, and left it for a couple of years.
Ew.
Yeah, Burns probably next to him is probably just going to wordlessly reach out and just touch Aku on the shoulder and cast prestidigitation and make the smell and the grime leave, just wordlessly.
So, those of you who have touched the grime, which I will say is Hayden.
Have I?
I did
When
hate
did I
touch
touch
the
it?
grime.
I've only used mage hand to touch
I don't think
chipmunk.
anyone has except Aku.
Aku. Okay.
And Ascor, obviously.
And I
but-
polymorphed him, so I've also touched the grime.
Oh, wait, you have to touch him to polymorph?
Yeah, polymorph's a touch, so I've done my whiz save, right?
Oh, right, okay. But I mean, did you actually have to touch the black ichor? Like, presumably you wouldn't have, right? Because he wasn't
No.
fully covered by it at that point.
Oh yeah,
so-
probably not. Yeah,
So you would have probably
Scoop
just
him on the bits that
Yeah.
weren't covered.
yeah, Barnes would have expressly avoided the grime.
Polymorph has got a range of 60 feet.
Was it? I thought it was touch.
No, I'm pretty sure I've turned things that are flying above me into stuff
Oh,
with my
bruh.
druids, so
Oh, bruh, yeah, no problem then.
You're safe.
But for flavor, he just like tapped him on the head and then gave the chipmunk a little head scritch.
It's not a riddle. Sai, it's not a riddle. Sai,
Look,
you
I
hear
just
this?
see you DMing big words to me and I panic, okay? Because of the last time you tried to make me figure something out and I as a player was too stupid and I've
So-
got PTSD.
Sai, in your head, ringing in chorus, you hear, the keys to hell are in his hands, and the shaking has begun. What man has created for himself can never be taken back or undone. God will before too long unleash the seven seas upon the world. Her wrath will fall from her heaven, and her terror she will unfurl. The skies above will turn dark, and the moon will look as if blood red, and every soul alive will be shaken with undying fear and eternal dread.
Right. Aku's probably gonna find the closest place to just sit down, given that he's just seen Rasha in his brain. He's traveled to the void, he's covered in, or was covered in shit, and is now hearing some absolute demons just singing into his mind. He's probably gonna, find the closest seat that doesn't look like it's gonna crumble under his weight, and just stare into the distance for a few moments.
We don't hear any of this,
You don't
yeah?
hear any of this. You just see Aku like traumatized walk off to the corner and be like, well, fuck.
It's a reasonable reaction for the crime.
what is that stuff? It's
Weird as yeah.
yeah.
How's Chip Score doing over there? Is he alright?
I think he's okay. Cass just keeps recasting Mage Hand just before it runs out, so he's never actually touching it.
Hayden is also chaining mage hands with him to help out.
Yeah, should we like can we hold him if we like wrap him up or something? Like
Maybe
keep
it's a
him
little-
warm, keep him like bundled up. I don't know. I've never had a pet before, so
Right, you know, like those baby carriers, like strap him to someone's back.
Kind of like Cheez It when he was alive. Maybe we could bundle him up. I think it's a good idea. And Hayden's gonna get a scrap of cloth out of his bag and an old t-shirt and wrap
Yes.
up Asgore in it.
Okay, the little chipmunk is. It's almost weird if you don't know the kind of telltale signs that a human isn't okay. It almost looks like chipmunk's sleeping, and once in your life you might think Asgore looks quite cute.
Hmm.
I
His
think
little
that's
ruffle.
broadly an improvement, actually. Movement to keep him like this.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah, I think yeah.
Right, good.
We can have that discussion, it'll be fine.
Kind of. Just a clapping from Sylas.
Oh, you really don't need. No, we know that was pretty miserable. You don't need to rub it in. We are powerful, though. We actually are. Just
Really.
Okay, I'm new here to all this.
Hi
Who's-
again.
Hi. You're very large. Who is this
I've
guy?
been told.
this is our friend Sylas. We're going for a picnic. He like commissioned us to do some stuff that we failed to do, but we're all cool. We're sort of still looking. We'll be in touch if we find anything. Why were you here with the mafia, Sylas? Can I just ask? Is that a thing that you do, or no
Why would I
judgment?
be here with the continent's foremost purveyor of exotic and illegal goods? Why, Barnes, is it? Yes. Do you think I, given what I am attempting to do and attempting to seek, would be here?
Fair enough. Yeah, mad tier resurrection. Yeah, fair enough.
So, my question again. Why did Kari think that you two were dead? And yet you stand before me. Illusion, trickery. Or you found a way back. And I'd be very interested in that story.
Quick point of clarification. When we met Sylas in the clearing after Aku's body had been snatched,
Yeah.
didn't we talk about the Fates card in front of him? Because wasn't that how Aku found out that Hayden had used the Fates card on him? Because I feel like that's what happened.
I think
No,
we
so
said
the
we'd used the thing, but we didn't tell him what it was, or like.
you said you found something that you've maybe done. I don't think you did tell him, but the hag knew everything. But the hag clearly didn't share everything with Sylas.
Right. Okay. I can't remember exactly how that went down.
No, I think the hag went through the memories and told Aku, but you guys talked about it afterwards. But Sylas was not aware of the Fates card.
Okay. Fair. Well, so funny story about that.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yeah, have you heard of Geb?
Smiles. Have I heard of the god your friend attempted to convert me to several times during our meetings?
Oh, so you have heard about Geb. Great. So Geb is the god of the Golden Forge, and he's a pretty great guy. And basically, when I died, he, instead of me being dead, he brought me to his golden prison and was like, hey, you want to help me get out of here? And I was like, yeah, sure, man. And then basically I came back to life. So that's kind of what happened. So maybe if you join the Church of Geb, then maybe he'll help you do the thing that you're wanting.
You make a persuasion check. I'm almost tempted to say it disadvantage, but it's the actual truth, so do not say it did. Like,
Can I give Hayden Boddick by just nodding sage and saying, yeah, Asmodeus resurrected me, so to be honest, cults are pretty cool.
Please, I need it, because I've only got a +1 to persuasion.
A D10.
Okay, so my persuasion, that's an 11 plus a D10.
Oh, hi, baby.
7. So a total of 18. And it's the
Get
truth, Your
through.
Honor.
okay. He kind of like looks down, and his eyes linger on your hand.
Yep, see, look, and he'll like pull the glove off and he'll be like, didn't have this last time, did I?
It's not unheard of. I myself am a recipient of such a gift from a god.
Oh, which one?
Shall list you. But there's one more. Points at Aku.
Well,
Did you make a deal as well, Aku? What is the matter with you? What's wrong? Look at me.
That's so caring of him.
Aku is not even listening to the conversation that is going on. He's like staring at the wall, and he probably kind of like walks over to Hayden and sort of like puts his hand on his shoulder, like almost to steady himself. And anyone who's like in the group chat, so everyone except Sylas, I guess, is probably gonna hear like this sort of unintelligible like muttering for like a little bit. Like it's just created a too long skies above. He's just like confused. It's completely not understandable what he's trying to say. It's just murmuring, stopping and starting.
you don't seem yourself. Hayden will try to steady Aku. Maybe we can pick this up another time, Sylas. But honestly, I'd highly recommend the Church of Geb, for all of your resurrection needs.
My soul is bargained and paid for. I cannot exchange it again.
Well,
Do not.
I don't
I
know
have
well,
tried.
if it's necessarily my soul. I've just agreed to help release him, and he probably needs some extra hands and help. So you seem like a burly guy, probably good at a jailbreak. You want to come help us jailbreak him?
Aiden, how old are you?
Hold on, I gotta check my character sheet. 20, 29, I think he is. Something like that. I don't know. 20. No, he's 27. I don't know.
I'm going to get the sense that this isn't the last time. And it definitely isn't the first time you've been told this. You're wonderfully naive.
Thanks, I guess.
Somehow, I don't think you'd actually be capable of lying to me, and I find that somehow reassuring.
Yep. I don't know what to say.
Do you truly imagine? What did you help in exchange for your life back?
Well, yeah, he's
Best of luck.
kind of sick of being in jail. I mean, like, what kind of choice did I have? It was either stay dead or offer to help. I mean, even if I did sell my soul or whatever, then at least I'm getting a second shot, right? Don't knock it before you try it. That's what I'm saying.
Tried it. Got the t-shirt.
Okay, well.
Fine. Disappointing. Kari clearly will be of no more help, and
Yeah.
I suppose I have little choice but to believe you don't have a mind either to how to solve my problem.
Where can we get in touch if we find something that can help? You got like a P.O. box or something?
You're at least powerful enough to message me, are you not?
Only if you're like within 200 feet and I kind of know what direction you're in.
The
I
others,
can do
though.
it. Don't worry,
Oh.
I'll definitely call. Yeah, no
Okay.
problem.
He's got you covered.
Thank you.
We're
And
going to have a
again,
picnic, aren't we? Isn't that still the plan? Or have I missed
once-
something?
If what it takes is a picnic with all of you, once you've found what I'm after, then yes.
Can't the picnic be a down payment? Do we have to do it after the fact? Can't we just picnic in advance and establish our friendship? I'm getting the no vibe from you.
You'd be wise to listen to your instincts.
You know, I sort of think the opposite of that, actually.
Fuck's sake. This point, he just kind of lays down and goes, so kind of like, plays back on the ground and goes, I can see you have your own business to attend to, and I'd rather not be caught here by Dorolo again.
Oh, you're friends with Derolo.
I don't get that vibe, Aiden.
You're not friends with Derolo. Okay.
That's one.
Sorry, I've had a bit of a traumatizing day.
He pats you on the shoulder.
Dude, he's called you wonderfully naive and touched you. Oh my, what?
Daddy.
Oh no.
Ayo.
Best of luck.
Yep.
You're all clearly going to need it. And he pushes his coat, transforms into bats, and makes his escape.
Good luck with your soul, Silas.
I mean,
That.
Aku is absolutely fucked in the head right now, but he still has still has brain enough to glare daggers at Sylas Briarwood after that as he retreats.
Vampires are sick, actually. It's so cool.
Wait, what?
They just turned into a bat. It's sick. Damn.
Looks over at the chipmunk.
Right, but okay. Aku, are you okay? What's with the muttering? Are we? Is that the goo or?
Slowly, you're gonna hear in kind of bits and pieces, like maybe with some words like missed out, but Aku is gonna breathe, and in all of your minds you're gonna hear the chorus that he heard that Jamie has typed in chat.
Keys to hell are in his hands, and the shaking has begun. What man has created for herself can never be taken back or undone. God will before too long unleash the seven seas upon the world. Her wrath will fall from her heaven, and her terror she will unfurl. The skies above will turn dark, the moon will look as if blood red, and every soul alive will be shaken with undying fear and eternal dread.
Well, that sounds awful.
Does this have to do with the gate that we kind of broke?
Well, is that the divine? Did you just hear that now? Is that what you're hearing, Aku? Is that from the goo?
Can't say for sure, but it started after I touched it.
Holy shit! I wish I was around for the calamity. Is this how it started? Are we about to have a second calamity?
I sure hope not. How do we stop it?
The keys to hell are in
F-
his hands. Who's his?
Barnes and Aku, your minds probably cast back to the vision you saw. And you'll notice that the gender throughout this refers mostly to female, except for the opening line and the bit about what man has created for himself. I got that wrong. It should be himself.
Man is created for himself. Can never be taken back or undone. What is man created for himself? What's man gone and done? Is man golden man walking?
The god is clearly being referred to as female.
Well, man is golden man. Is that what we're saying? He's created. He's got the keys to hell. I've apparently been to hell. I don't remember it.
Is that talking about Russia?
Golden dude.
He's pretty gold. You said he's wandered off to do some stuff.
I just saw him walking into the void. Keys to hell are in his hands. What's that about?
Has he ever built anything that was weird to you? You know, he used to forge stuff all the time.
Barely met him. Barely know the guy. He's somber and a bit troubled. Looked like he was about to cry most of the time I met him.
Hayden and Aku will be aware that during your times together, Rasha's kind of pinnacle achievement was to craft Gebstone, which was a mixture of opposite elements of various metals from different elemental planes, forcing them to mix together in a single alloy.
It's gonna form a key to all the planes, isn't it?
And it's the stuff that Zug's weapon is made out of. Some of it.
Alamau.
Like, was he trying to build something in particular for Geb? Like a big show of faith or anything?
The first time Rasha combined a fire ingot with cold steel from Water Elemental Plane, Geb told him that he was proud of Rasha.
And I think Rasha also would have shared that the devil, the demon, what we killed in the Underdark, referred to him as a key of stars.
No, so he referred to you as the key. You were told in the Underdark the demon said that the aboleths were looking for you, but he would take you first.
Yeah.
Remove you if necessary.
Yeah.
Wait, who said that?
The pact demon used to fought beneath Nadan's village a long time ago.
He was the one that was dicking about with the priestess.
Yeah, the one who took over the village. If you remember, when you went down to the Underdark, you basically did a decent chunk of Escape of the Abyss. But it was in that the aboleths had made an alliance with the demon lords to bring the demon lords into the material plane, but then the demon lords had gone back on their word and had slaughtered a bunch of aboleths. And that's why you kept finding aboleth corpses used to power portals to the abyss. And one of the demons you fought told Rasha that he was the key. I think actually Hayden might not have been there for this. The only person here might have been Zug, Ascor, and yeah, this was before Erin joined the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And just to establish, we've spoken about in character the fact that Geb Aboleth sus, right?
Yes,
Like, this is stuff that Barnes knows at this point, or would know after the weeks of researching.
I believe
Yeah,
so.
this was definitely brought up. Like,
Yeah.
at least questioning it was
Yeah.
brought up.
So, your buddy, your golden dude, is off to take the keys of hell down to Geb / Aboleth Queen, who I suppose is the she who's going to cause the shaking and the wrath and the skies and seas unfurling upon the world and all that shit. I think, is that the read?
Yeah, no, wait. Absolutely, Barnes knows because Lanharath actually called Rasha out whilst we were meeting up with him. And that's another reason why Rasha was, like, offended, right? Because Aku was the only one that was like, yeah, but Aboleth bad boy.
Yeah.
Is that exactly how he said it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
I think didn't Rasha has also said to the party multiple times he doesn't actually care if it's Piscatheris or whatever, the Aboleth Queen, or actual Geb.
Yeah, yeah.
It's his
yeah.
friend.
Yeah, he's made that one pretty clear. Yeah.
And the Aboleth was the only one that was, like, there for him, and thus he doesn't give a shit about us. Sob.
Big sad.
Gentlemen, I'm sort of thinking if we don't want our souls to be shaken with undying fear and eternal dread, I sort of just think we should stop him. Does that feel like on point? Does that feel right to you?
Stop Rasha.
Yeah, sort of put him a net around him and drag him back from the void, wherever he's gone to.
I mean, regardless of whether this has an impact on us, I've been saying that that's what we should be doing. That's what I said to Rasha that he should be doing, is not following Geb. He says, like, with air quotes.
Should I ask him where he is? Maybe he's... Because he did say he was going to wait for us in a tavern. Shall I just check on that? Make sure he's not in space?
That might be a good idea.
It's a good place to start.
Oh, I call sending and say, hello, Rasha. It's Barnes. Just checking. Are you in space right now? Or are you on the move? Are you waiting in the tavern? Just getting a sense for what's up. Aku says hi. Bye.
Well, I waited some time. I'm exploring a new route down. You are welcome to come join me.
Oh,
Tell Aku
fucking
I'm
hell.
alive.
He's gonna turn around to Ak and say he says to tell you that he's alive. He's down there. He's exploring a new route. He said to join him, but he didn't exactly stipulate how. Should we do that? Should I just tell him to stop the fuck whatever he's doing?
Yes, I think stop would be probably one of the best things that we could say to him now. And I look, kind of something dawns on Aku, and he looks over to Zug, and looks over to where
yes.
the Ica was. Is there still any of the, like, void remnants?
Beneath, down below, if you look at where the puddle where the chipmunk fell into, where it's coalescing, there's still some there, yeah, but it's kind of seeping away through the stone downwards.
Well, he kind of puts out his hand to Zug and says, well, this was something that Rasha created. Just give it to me for a second.
Or what? What do you want of mine?
His hammer.
Oh,
No, it's not a hammer, is it? It's
an axe.
an axe, yeah.
kind of like looking a bit like a puppy who's having his toy taken away. Zug kind of motions forward and gives it. I'm going to get it back, right?
I'll be just a moment, Zug. I'm not taking your weapon from you.
Okay. And kind of hands it over.
And I guess maybe he has to like I don't know how far down it is, but if it's far down, like he might kind of carefully just grab onto the floorboards and just as far as he can get the axe towards the black ichor. Like, does anything happen? Like, does he see anything? Does it look like?
Yeah, so the black ichor kind of, as it moves, it almost begins to reach up towards the edge of the axe and almost begins to swirl in a whirlpool around it. And if you wiggle it, the center of that like vortex seems to almost move with the axe.
Okay, you might want to look at this. I no idea what the fuck is going on, but this is something that Rasha made. We can be pretty certain that what I heard and what Barnes apparently saw as well as I has. Well, we can be sure now that this is a Rasha issue that we need to deal with. I mean, regardless of the consequences, I don't feel good about letting Rasha go to wherever he's going.
And spent his life in servitude to an imaginary aboleth god. Wow.
So, while I agree with you guys that we probably should question Gab and the aboleth stuff, I have a slight problem. I don't know if I try stopping him, if I'll just be like right on the spot. So, I might not have a choice in this matter.
Good. What did Gib ask you to do again? What was the deal?
He asked me to free him.
Oh.
Yeah.
What explicitly happened, Hayden? Did you agree? What was the price? I mean, tell us in detail.
So Hayden starts to recount in detail that scenario that happened many weeks ago, but I
Yes.
cannot remember.
So,
but Jamie
Hayden
can.
was transported to a deep expanse of void where there was golden bars around, and you touched one of the bars and it was warm to the touch, and you turned around and there was a large golden figure standing there who you recognized perhaps to be Geb. Geb told you that he was Geb and that what Rasha had said had been true, and that he was trapped here, and that he had found a way to release himself with keeping her. At this point he looked over his shoulder and you saw a large something in the background move and kind of red eyes a little bit further off there, and that all he needed was followers to give him power, and that if he could use some of the last vestiges of his power to send you back, that you would help free him when the time came and do what he commanded.
But here's the thing. I mean, free is a pretty ambiguous term. It could be, free from life, free from worries, free from
his regret, yeah, free
right.
from debt. You could pay off his debts.
Yeah,
Right,
that's all
exactly.
good point, but it depends on whether he's a god that acts on the letter of the law or the intent of the law.
I do love that
I
every
don't
D&D
think-
party becomes lawyers at every opportunity.
Guys, I'm very
Good one.
familiar with bird law and like
Honestly,
no.
Guys,
We
I must
could-
be real with you, Hayden. I don't think he's a god. I'm not even sure he's a he. I think he's probably just an aboleth queen now to drown the world in fire and misery. So,
You think so?
I mean, technically, Hayden, we could free her from her life by killing her if that's what we plan to do. And he's just like suddenly looking really worried at the fact that he kind of obviously heard this before, but now dawns on him how serious this is and is now also worried for Hayden's life as well as Rasha's.
I mean, we could also like free him and then kill him, or or her, or they, or I don't know, but or maybe if I decide not to free him and I make that decision and then I suddenly die, well, as long as you guys are here, you could bring me back,
I
maybe.
just pop you back up, no problem. And do you know, the other thing here is, right, the aboleths are like hanging out with Zahir and making blood plagues and shit. And that is technically our remit under Mr. Derolo to fix. So if we just show up, kill everything we see, I imagine we'll be fine and everything will be resolved. So we just have to really commit to going in hard and just fuck shit up and believe in ourselves. I just can't see what would go wrong here if we just stick to the plan, set shit on fire, and this time we won't put the fire out because it'll be down in caves and fuck the caves.
I'm sure resurrection spell is totally able to get around a, you know, an ancient deal with a evil being.
No problem. I mean, you can sign up for Asmodeus if it goes badly, and then we can just keep swapping.
Maybe not. That's fine. That's your thing. I don't want to.
Well, I'm trying to get out of it. So if you join on board, we can work on getting out of it together.
Or I could help you
You
get
can
out of it
just-
without joining it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
No offense, but Asmodeus kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, same. Yeah.
Rude.
Maybe.
Rude, frankly, rude.
Look, I know he's hot, Jamie, but
It's really hot though, Hayden. I'm not going to lie.
I think quite literally in this interpretation of the
because
word.
he's like engulfed in the flames of hell or something.
Cass just like cracking his neck, like, "Don't worry, I'm fire resistant."
He's like unnervingly sexy, actually. It's just anyway. Anyway, not the point here. Let's just kill Geb, kill the Owlet Queen, kill the Plague Bringers. I don't know what we're going to do with the chipmunk, to be honest. Like, he'll stop being a chipmunk at some point, and then we have gooey glue Ascor to drag around.
Well, he can drag himself around at that point, right?
I mean, we
Well,
can get him. We can
maybe.
get him somewhere that's safe, right? Could we put him in your mansion thing? Would that be safe?
Well, I can summon mansions the whole way down. Is the plan just to go down, or are we just like... There's tunnels right beneath this auction or
I mean,
the
we could
Tearja,
just
right?
go. We could leave him somewhere safe after we think he's going to turn back, and then just kind of carry on from there.
I mean, but Barnes can summon the castle wherever, so now that
Right.
he's carryable, we can take him with us, and that's probably the safest option right now.
Could I have
I-
my axe back, please? Back.
I am feeling an immense sense of urgency from talk like seas unfolding upon the world, so I sort of think we shouldn't delay the descent into madness. And
No, I
Doom.
agree. Aku says while just ignoring Zug, just like begging if he's
Excuse me. If you're done,
Bar-
if you don't mind.
Barnes.
Excuse me, sir.
Barnes, maybe we should update Roman on what Aku has heard. That might be important for him.
Yes, shit, we should do that, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yes, he needs to know. I also need to give him instructions for what the fuck to do with Vaspin because he's not going to know what to do. Like, he's still pretty crazy. Okay.
Send him a message.
Yeah, okay. Right. Yes. Yeah, there's no time to teleport to and from, is there?
I think a message would be more appropriate given.
What am I going to say? Like, hello, Roman, the world is ending. On my way to save it with the boys. Look after Vespin while I'm gone. Play him the same music I've been playing. Fuck it, I'm just going to say that. He'll know what I mean.
If you really don't mind, actually.
I'm going to send
Okay.
basically... Oh, go on.
Aku like turns to Hayden as like Zug is just like butting in and goes, and I suppose I didn't really think about this, but given that the entity knows you, Hayden, and you have made a promise, perhaps that means that we will be able to travel underground, maybe without as much danger, given that what I'm assuming is the Aboleth thinks that you're going to help Rasha and help.
Yeah.
If you remember, traveling with Ascor was one of the reasons you were able to infiltrate the Mind Flayer colony unknown because the Aboleth's mark protection seem to offer some level of psychic protection against being discovered.
Wait, your hand?
What about it? And he'll hold it up again.
I mean, that's a symbol of Geb, right?
I mean, yeah. It's the eye that Rasha had on all of his armor, so.
I mean, surely that. I mean, he has no idea what it is. He's just trying to grasp at straws. He's like, well, maybe that will.
Yeah,
help
I mean,
us?
it might. I'm also a bit worried though, like if Geb's like in my brain and my brain is like, I'm gonna betray you, bitch, then he might be like, I'm actually gonna fucking kill you right now. So, maybe I'm gonna just think really hard about continuing to try to release him, and you guys maybe don't tell me that you're gonna not release him, and then that way I can maybe trick him in my brain if he's in my brain. I don't know if he's in my brain. I don't know how this all works. I'm kind of scared.
Aku squints at Hayden and just slowly says, I think if the aboleth was in your brain, he'd know by now if we were going down there to kill it. I think it's a bit late for that, Hayden.
Okay, well that's good then. I'm not dead yet.
Not permanently, anyway.
I think perhaps, given that it's 10 and the states I'm not dead yet has been answered.
Well, I'm gonna just before we finish, because I'm gonna send this message to Roman. It's gonna be Roman. Gebeleth is going to end the world. Going to stop them with the boys. Look after Vespin while I'm gone. Playing my tunes. Bye.
You referred to him as Gebeleth.
Yeah.
That's great.
Weren't we gonna tell Roman the passage that Aku learned?
Yeah.
I've only have 25 words, my guys.
Oh, right.
Maybe I'll send a follow up and just really ham up the drama of the first few lines. Yeah, I'll send him the keys to hell are in his hands. The shaking has begun. Gods will unleash the 7 seas upon the world. Terror, undying fear, eternal dread. Just trail off.
Serious as always, Barnes. Noted. I'll ensure Vespin is looked after and not adding to our current calamities. Another one, at least. Is there anything I can do? Anything we can do? Best of luck.
It would take 4 sending spells to send that entire message to him.
He's so reliable. Yeah, he's asked if he can do anything. Research into Psythes Zahir, how to kill them, stop them.
Yeah,
Helpful.
mean anything at this point.
Yeah, I'll send him a request for research on the above.
How to kill gods and how to stop the Aboleth Queen escaping.
How to fuck up gods and
What a
save the
question.
world?
How do I murder God?
How do I kill God, bro?
You're smart. You're smart. How do I kill God?
We started this campaign in an airship crashing with an air elemental, and now you kill God. It's every JRPG ever. Let's go.
Vance is just gonna turn to Casadius and be like, "Wait, are you coming to kill God?"
Oh, I mean, that wasn't. Sure, you guys have helped me out plenty, and
I mean, you
Guess
don't
I owe
have
you
to
one.
kill God. It's up to you if you want to kill God. Just
Please, it's not God. There is not just one God. This is very insensitive of.
sorry, I'm trying to minimize my own God problems. Kill a false messiah.
Thank
well, I
you.
mean,
false prophet.
Thank you.
if this thing gets out, it's going to cause problems for like, literally everyone, right?
Yeah,
Every soul, undying terror,
I think
dread.
so.
It's like
Living
a brief,
soul.
It's like a brief moment where Cass sort of like pauses and looks down at his feet, and then he looks up and toward the direction, like off in the
Royal Castle.
middle distance of where the castle is, and then he just like taps the short swords on his side and just, well, it's a hell of a way to go out if I do, so why not?
Who notices that and just looks over to Casadius and is just like, don't worry, I'm sure your parents are having a great time right now.
Yes, Thanks. Let's try and keep it that way, huh?
Letters and
Fucking drugs. Fucking drug merchant.
Caston is just like, yeah, my
Fucking
mom really
rat.
likes that tea.
Thanks
He's
so
gonna
much.
murder you when he finds out.
Hayden kind of glances at Casadius's kind of tapping the swords and then says, "So does that mean you're coming with us then?"
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick around a little longer if you don't mind, and he'll just sling an arm around Hayden.
Hayden like kind of like almost falls over because he's trying to also support Aki's weight, and now he's got Casadius on him too. And he's like, "Fuck."
There is no escape.
Why does this feel like the movie where they're all drinking and sharing stories before the battle?
And one of them's gonna die. Who's gonna die?
It's the
All
scene
of
in
us.
Jaws right before
Yeah.
the morning after. He's gonna get bit in half.
Jamie, never mind.
Yes.
Go on, Clood.
No, this was irrelevant, and it's about a magic item. So don't worry.
Okay. So, with all of you resolved.
Wait, no, it is relevant. The magic carpet. Did we pick that up in the time skip? Wait.
Yes, you did.
Thank fuck for that.
We spent a lot of money on that.
Also, just to clarify, did that actually happen? Did he actually put his arm around Hayden?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
He's just being friendly, buddy.
We're all touching each other today. It's quite nice.
I guess we'll see how that goes down next week.
I'm not hit though.
We got
3 weeks.
we got to wait 3 weeks for Aka's reaction.
See you next week.
So,
Jamie, cancel your honeymoon. Fuck.
as you've all prepared to go and kill a god, one of them many, one of the
Not a
most
god,
important
not a
ones,
god.
but not a god, or to free one, you are not all entertaining the possibility that it is actually Geb who just wants to be free. So, thanks very much for playing. We'll see where we pick up next time, and thanks everyone for watching. I know we were a little down on people, and we haven't technically left the room, but a direction has been decided, which is more than we achieve most sessions, frankly.
Well, we've set up the apocalypse, which is kind of tight, so
We're going aborth hunting, boys.
let's go hunt some orc.
If
Alright,
we're
guys.
aboleth hunting, should we get like a fishing rod with a really big hook?
Maybe. Going fishing. All right.
Alright.
Well,
Thanks very much for watching, everyone, and thank you for playing. Catch you in 3 weeks when I am back and married.
Wow.
Make sure
what
to
are
keep-
we gonna do?
just cry and talk about our headcanons. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure to follow our Discord channel to get updates on when we're back. Hopefully it will be... Which date, Jamie?
I will be back on the 26th, which means our first D&D session will be the 27th.
Back on the 27th September. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all.
Amazing.
Hey, bye guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Join the Discord so you can join the cult of Sauron. Bye.